Something is silently stealing your memory, and if you don't pay attention, it could take your identity with it. This isn't the plot of a dystopian movie, nor is it a conspiracy theory. It's something more subtle, more dangerous, a slow fading, a blur that spreads like fog, a kind of collective amnesia, invisible but devastating. You won't see headlines warning about it, you won't hear sirens, but you may have already felt it. A strange, nameless tiredness, an inexplicable mental fog, moments when you wonder who you were 5 years ago and you can't find the answer. The feeling of being alive, but kind of blank inside. If this sounds familiar, it's not weakness. It's a symptom, and you're not alone. We are living in a carefully crafted reality, curated by algorithms that not only observe your habits, but shape your thinking. They know when you are vulnerable, when you are needy, when you need attention. And when they find out, they don't just offer you what you want. They shape who you become, the choices you believe you make, what to read, what to feel, what to consider important, may never have been yours to begin with. What seemed like freedom has turned into invisible direction, a colorful, endless feed designed to keep you scrolling while your identity fades behind the images. Artificial intelligence isn't waiting to get to know who you are. It already decides, based on the data you hand over every day, which paths you will be able to see. It doesn't just show you the world, it builds it around you. A parallel reality, fed by code you will never see, controlled by systems you will never fully understand. And meanwhile, your mind is being disconnected from itself. You begin to forget what you loved, what you wanted, what you once dreamed of being. Not all at once, but little by little, like a candle slowly burning out, consumed by the thin air of an increasingly automated life. This video is an invitation, not to panic, but to lucidity, to perception. It's about remembering, rebuilding, recovering, because as long as you still feel this discomfort, this silent confusion, it's a sign that something in you still resists. And where there is memory, there is a way back. It's not just manipulation, it's a silent erosion of our identity, a hidden reconfiguration of who we are. In the frenetic pace of notifications and endless scrolling, our instincts lose their intensity. Our beliefs, they become whispers amid the digital chaos. And this is not an explicit imposition. It is the gradual and imperceptible effect of a mind bombarded by artificial stimuli. Imagine waking up and already feeling an inexplicable restlessness, a light weight on your chest that leaves you oscillating between apathy and agitation. This emotional ebb and flow is not casual anxiety. It is an exhausted nervous system, overwhelmed by a relentless stream of flashes, sounds, and clicks. We were designed to live real experiences, to feel, absorb, connect, not to react compulsively to screens and alerts. Modern neuroscience warns us, without deep attention, our ability to convert moments into lasting memories collapses. Memory consolidation depends on prolonged focus, but today, without periods of silence, meaningful events, a conversation, a striking gesture, a transformative idea, slip away without a trace. It's not just mental fatigue, it's a failure in memory encoding, a gradual erasure. We live written in invisible ink. Every distraction fragments our attention. Psychologists call this cognitive drift, but in the digital age, it's something darker. We forget who we are. Fragmented attention silences our curiosity, our creative courage, our thirst for meaning. In its place, a void disguised as normality emerges. And this emptiness exposes us. Without mindfulness, we become susceptible to the narratives of others. Algorithms decide what we see, what we feel, and even who we become. When our identity dissolves, we become characters in stories we did not write. Apathy becomes a habit. Distraction becomes identity. This is not theory. Studies show that loss of focus reduces learning, cools relationships, and erodes self-esteem. The inability to retain vivid memories disconnects us from our own challenges and achievements. We begin to perceive ourselves through echoes produced by others. The greatest danger? The belief that this emptiness is natural. Allowing this erosion to continue is giving up on ourselves, and yet convincing ourselves that it is a choice. But there is something that still resists in silence, a flash of curiosity, a longing for connection, the desire to be seen for who we are before any screen. How do you know if you have been affected by this invisible erosion? Perhaps you used to be driven by curiosity, that spark that ignited ideas and passions. Today, it may seem distant, almost forgotten, as if it belonged to someone else. Motivation has given way to a feeling of deep apathy, an emptiness that insists on settling in with every attempt. It seems that nothing really matters anymore. We're not talking about simple fatigue, but the silent collapse of meaning. This erosion resembles the final stages of an emotional breakdown. The self becomes fragile, vulnerable, ready to be rewritten from the outside in. It's at this point that algorithms find a loophole, an unforced entry, an empty space ready to receive fabricated narratives. If any of this sounds familiar, if you notice your curiosity fading, your feelings numbing, it's not a sign of defeat. It's a sign that something inside you is still alive. If there is memory, there is a way back. There are 6 steps to reclaiming that personal root. And the first is simple but powerful. See the fog. Don't fight it, just observe it. Every time your gaze gets lost, scrolling through your screen, stop and note, I'm here again. Awareness clears the trance. The fog loses strength when we face it. Second step, take off the mask. We live in a world that wants to mold us, dictate our appearance, our thoughts, make us puppets of other people's gaze. Say out loud, even if only to yourself, 3 authentic things you've never said before. By naming your truth, you regain your inner voice. Third step, return to your body, your sacred instrument. Feel your breath, watch your ribs rise and fall like gentle waves. Being present in your own body activates the deep nervous system, interrupts mental noise, and regains control of your attention. With each conscious breath, you reconnect with a forgotten part of yourself. Fourth step, recover what has been buried, an old dream, a hidden desire, a flash of creative madness. Nothing has truly been extinguished. It is just waiting for your attention to resurface. Recovering what seemed lost is a way of rescuing a vital part of yourself. Step 5. Make the ordinary sacred. Every routine gesture, every word you say, every small conscious act is raw material for change. This isn't mysticism, it's neuroplasticity. Your brain shapes itself when you assign meaning, and when you say, even to yourself, that it matters. Sixth and final step, leave a trail. Write a short sentence, a statement, a reminder, and stick it somewhere visible. I was here and I remembered. It seems simple, almost trivial, but repeating it for days reprograms mental pathways. Each time you read it, you will be reminding yourself who you are and demanding a response from your soul. What parts of myself have I lost? Not in the sense of changing over the course of a lifetime, but in the sense of simply forgetting essential fragments of yourself. Imagine opening an inner drawer and finding empty compartments. There, dreams that seemed real, passions that seemed alive, memories of a vibrant self. But instead of looking for someone to blame, ask yourself, did I let these parts slip away? Or was it something external that ripped them from me? Memories don't disappear all at once. They wear away, bit by bit, concession by concession. A welcoming silence became routine. A harmless distraction became a habit. Until one day, when you look at your reflection, something no longer makes sense. Psychologists call this progressive self-erasure. Small concessions over time erode our internal narrative. But here's the crucial point. If you sit in silence and look inside yourself, if you stop running away from your own reflection, you can rediscover forgotten parts of yourself. Think of a flame that never went out. It was just covered by the dust of digital routine. Among the shadows may be the voice you had before you fell asleep, a face you didn't recognize as your own, a courage that was once alive. And neuroscience confirms it. The brain maintains latent networks, ready to be reactivated by conscious stimuli. As you ask yourself, what instincts have fallen silent? What dreams have been silenced? You begin to open internal doors. Memory always knows the way home. Brain plasticity ensures that connections can be reestablished, even those that have been dormant for years. And here's what they don't want you to discover. When they fragment your memory, they fragment your identity. And when they fragment your identity, they lose the need to control you directly. Because they already controlled you without you knowing it. This isn't paranoia. It's a real assessment. If we allow small erasures to go unchecked, we risk one day not even recognizing the echo of our own voice. But if we dare to ask, feel, and dig deep within ourselves, we will regain not only scattered pieces, but the authorship of our own story. So cry if you have to cry. Feel the silence if you have to feel it. Look in the mirror. Linger on the face that may seem strange, but is entirely yours. Recognizing these parts is the first step toward bringing them back to life. The journey of recovery is slow, delicate, demanding, and yet it is not only possible, it is urgent. When you stop remembering, you will accept any story you're told as your truth. You will think that your inner silence was a genuine choice, that apathy is the essence of life, that it has always been that way. But here's the truth. Behind that fog, you still exist. And it's in this recognition that the strength to resume your path lies. You are not lost. You are asleep. You don't need a guru or an external system to save you. You're not trapped in a grand conspiracy. What is happening is more subtle. An invasion of attention, a gradual shift in focus that liquefies you like dirt in streams of information. Your most intimate choices do not belong to them to be edited by the logic of consumption and clicks. Your mental territory is inviolable, and it is waiting to be reclaimed. And this is where the urgency of a central question comes in. What did you lose within yourself that algorithms knew better than you did? Maybe it was a simple pleasure, leafing through a book, feeling the texture of the pages, allowing your body to slow down. Maybe it was the early excitement of learning something new, a thought that sprang up before any debate. It may have been radiant self-esteem, a feeling that you were enough before any external validation. And suddenly, all of that became a vague shadow. But you are still here. Behind that fog, a spark persists, a thought that bothers you, a discomfort in your stomach, a desire to remember. These sensations are the spark, small signs of life that resist erasure. It is in them that the light they don't want you to ignite resides. When you feel that tremor, if your eyes burn, if your body reacts, don't fight it. Accept it as confirmation that you still exist. It was you who awakened that spark, not me. I just pointed you to the exit. The power is within you, and only you can rekindle that fire. So I offer you a simple and urgent invitation. Remember every day. Find small gestures that reaffirm your presence, whether it's a phrase, a drawing, or a spontaneous gesture. Keep track of them. And above all, don't go back to sleep, because every second of attention regained is a step toward reclaiming yourself. Wake up to your own story, act by act. Don't let it be written by lines that don't lead to you. The journey back begins with small reminders, an inner presence, a conscious act. The road is arduous, but the reward is a full life that is yours again. Attention is your weapon. Memory is the map that can guide you back to yourself. In an age where distraction has become a permanent state and identity is shaped by invisible algorithms, remembering who you are has become one of the last authentic acts of freedom. Your sense of identity does not belong to companies, platforms, or trends. It is yours, inalienable, unique. If something inside you trembled during this journey, if your stomach tightened, if a lump formed in your throat, if your eyes burned silently, then you felt it. You felt the memory trying to come back. You felt that there is still something alive beneath the fog. That spark that insists on resisting was not lit by me, it was rekindled by you. I just showed you the way. The journey is, and always will be, entirely yours. And that's why, before the noise resumes its dominance, before the machine pushes you back into your usual rhythm, I want you to do something. Not for me, for you, remember. And don't go back to sleep. Find a word, a single word, that has echoed inside you during this journey. It could be identity, attention, resurgence, fire, awareness. It doesn't matter what it is. Write it in the comments. By naming it, you materialize what you felt. You transform abstraction into presence. That word will be a milestone, a reminder, an anchor. And if this video touched you, if it stirred something you had buried or forgotten, I ask for your support. Liking this video and subscribing to the channel helps more than you think. It strengthens a space that refuses to produce noise and that intentionally chooses to awaken. And if you want to go further, consider offering support in any amount. Your help strengthens this work and allows more content like this to reach those who often don't even know they are lost. Here we don't sell promises, we don't sell magic solutions. We deliver memories, we deliver clarity, and every person who reconnects with their story, with their essence, with their inner voice, is another point of light in this landscape of digital shadows. You are not alone. You never have been. And if you've made it this far, it's because there are still parts of you that refuse to disappear. Wake up to yourself and be the guardian of what is most intimate and true, your memory.